Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Joe Kuchera, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. I always appreciate it. Don't want to take it for granted. Really greatly appreciate those that take some time out of their day. Whether it's the live show, we are live Monday through Friday from 3 to 4 Pacific Daylight Time. You can listen on the radio at KDOW 1220 AM. That signal goes out through the entire Bay Area. As far south as Monterey, far north is Marin County area, San Francisco, the entire Bay Area here. Also, if you are anywhere at all and you want to listen online during this time frame, you could do that anywhere you are if you have access to the internet, and that's at kdow.biz. If you go to that website, you could just click on the button that says Listen Live, and you could listen to the entire show. And usually we're streaming live on Facebook. Not doing that today because of some technical difficulties. We'll be back to that tomorrow. And lastly, make sure you download the podcast. If you go to iTunes and you just type in or punch in Real Estate Radio Live, download the podcast, and you can do that at our website as well. Just Real Estate Radio Live, again, on iTunes, or our website is reradiolive.com. That's reradiolive.com. The podcasts are continuing to grow, and that's exciting because that's just a great way to listen to content and information now. Let's face it, people are on the go. They're busy. Allows you to listen to that at your time, your convenience. Also, the thing I love about the podcast, too, is it allows those people throughout the United States and even out of the country to listen to the show and get feedback from them. It's pretty exciting the way that works. So during the show, the live portion, if you have any questions for me, give me a call, 1-800-516-1220. Again, during the show, that's the number to use, 1-800-516-1220. That goes directly to our producer, and he could answer those calls. If you're listening to this via the podcast, the best way to contact me is 408-838-9060, and you could also text your questions always at that number as well. Remember, just a reminder for those that may be just tuning in, our focus is education and information. We'll continue to provide that for you, the consumer, to help you make wise decisions in and around your real estate. Okay, so Tuesdays are what we continue our continuing series, and that will continue for months to come and probably into next year. And that is every Tuesday, unless something changes, unless we have a special guest, it'll be the future of real estate and lending. So I'll be discussing topics typically on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, kind of the future of real estate and lending, if that means technology, new data that we have, new information, new statistics, stuff that would signal or at least educate us in why and how the industries are going to be changing by the use of technology and a lot of different things moving forward. Let me just tell you, I am immersed in research every single day for this business, for other businesses I do, for my business, for my radio show, to be able to provide consumers updated information. And I could tell you, I know people talk a lot about technologies changing the world and technologies changing this and that. And I know a lot of people just hear that and kind of see it, and then every once in a while you see examples of how it is. And of course, the big examples are Uber and Amazon and what they're doing, and some of the things that are taking over with voice technology. They're really, really interesting. And let me just tell you that when you immerse yourself in the research like I do, you'd be amazed at how much money is being invested in different industries to disrupt industries. And real estate and lending is no different. Matter of fact, there's an acceleration of investments and in the billions that are going to disrupt real estate and lending. And you'll see more and more of that over the next couple of years. And I'm going to challenge people, the consumers, challenge your way of thinking. You'll hear a lot of information over the next coming months and into 2018. I think you'll be really excited about some options that will allow you to work with your real estate transactions quicker, faster, more effective, more cost-effective. We're going to be rolling out some programs, and I'm really excited about it. So stay tuned for that. It is changing. And again, I'll repeat over and over for those people that really think and believe that this is the rebuttal you'll hear on a regular basis, is it's the single most expensive or costly or transaction that a consumer ever will typically make in their life. That is true. That's true. But that doesn't mean that it's going to change in the way that transaction takes place. And so this is the part that if you're in the industry, if you're in a real estate industry or lending, I would say wake up, educate yourself, understand that, yes, tomorrow things aren't going to change, but they are changing. And if I were you, I would try to be on the forefront of this. And what I mean by that is there will be consolidation because there'll be less business to go around. There'll be less low-hanging fruit because many, many people, in order to get business in a large amounts of business in the next coming years, you're really going to have to be on your game. You're going to have to be using technology. You're going to have to be set up in systems, processes, and companies and affiliates and partnerships that are going to have more access to the consumer. It's just the old way of getting things done is slowly but surely going to fade away, and these things are going to happen. We're going to continue to bring that information to you. So what I'm going to do today is talk about the reason why I'm going to talk about this is because there's really just the side of it. So a lot of data and information came out. Inman, if you don't know, Inman News is a really big, one of the top real estate news mediums, and they do a great job at, the industry, real estate agents, what's going on, technology. They do a great job covering a lot of that. So it's one of my sources. They recently had an article out, the top 7 ways real estate agents annoy clients or consumers. And also we have some data of the top 5 things that consumers hate most about getting a mortgage. So the reason I'm going to cover these 2 topics today is, one, I'm going to cover the top 7 ways real estate agents annoy clients, and then we're going to cover the top 5 things that consumers hate most about a mortgage, getting a mortgage. The reason why I'm going to cover these first, then I'm going to discuss a little bit about how technology could help this. In other words, how can technology improve the experience that the consumer is having? And this is really the conversation, the money that's being spent behind the scenes that most people don't understand, that are just going traditionally about their business every day and not understanding that things are going to change. There are companies and really smart people spending a lot of money looking at this data going, okay, well, if these top 7 things annoy clients the most, what can we do by implementing technology and using better technology systems, processes to improve the customer experience? Oh, and by the way, these top 5 things that consumers hate most about getting a mortgage, what can we do to implement and change and adapt and deploy technology to improve those 5 things potentially? Now, all those things might not be able to be changed by technology. It could be a human behavior thing. But I'm going to go through those today, just an understanding. So I'm going to go through these. I'm going to talk about both sides. And then I'm going to discuss a little bit about some of the things that are coming up with new technology for the future of real estate and lending, how technology might be able to help improve the customer experience, or at least the perception. All right, so let's dive into the top 7 ways that real estate agents annoy clients. Number 1 is not responding promptly. That's the number 1 complaint and concern. And I can tell you that I've been studying this for years, but the last 2 years I have immersed myself again in this research a lot. And I can tell you that this is one of the biggest things, not responding properly and communicating properly. And that's the number 1 on the list of 7. So what do the consumers mean by this? Not responding promptly. That could be a phone call. That could be an email. Could be a correspondence of, did you find the house that I wanted? That could be all kinds of different ways. But this, again, could be helped with technology. This could be helped with technology. So each time I go through each one of these things, I'm going to also talk about the technology. Many agents are not using technology to the fullest their extent. Many agents are relying on email, or occasionally they'll text, or they'll do both. Here's the problem with most transactions, and this will be changing too, and some lenders and some agencies do it, but a lot don't. There should be no reason why every step of the transaction a consumer should be either emailed or text or communicated with about every step of the transaction. That technology exists today. The sad part is that most of them aren't deploying it to using that technology. Again, the number one complaint, not responding promptly. Well, they're not responding promptly because people are busy, or they get sidetracked, or they're not very good at time management. There's all kinds of different reasons for it. The bottom line is we should be using technology to better communicate with our clients. All right, I'm going to take the first break. When I come back, I'm going to continue the conversation. This is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. If you have any questions during the live show, 1-800-516-1220. If you want to text those questions in, 408-838-9060. When we come back, we'll continue talking about the 7 ways real estate agents annoy clients.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
The world is changing, and so is real estate. It's changing in ways that give consumers more control with more affordable options. So what are your options? Hi, this is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. I've been on the air educating and informing consumers for over 7 years now. I'm excited to announce that there is now a more efficient and cost-effective way to buy and sell real estate. Our team at Real Estate Radio Live is launching a new program designed to help buyers or sellers like you in real estate, lending, and title. That's right, we'll coordinate the entire transaction for you. So you benefit by working with the same team, saving time and saving money. We'll guarantee you'll not only be working with the most qualified, hand-picked experts in real estate, lending, and title, but you will also save a significant amount of money in all 3 services as well. Act now and benefit from changing the world of real estate. Call 408-838-9060. Go to RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome back in. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, with you 5 days a week. And today's topic is every Tuesday we have an ongoing series, and that is the continuing series of the future of real estate and technology. So today I'm going to be talking about 2 things, and then we're going to dissect each one of them, components, and then find out how technology can and will change us in the future. The first couple series is going to be the top 7 ways real estate agents annoy clients. We're going to address those 7, and then how they could be used or changed or are satisfied with the use of technology. And then the second 2 segments, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 5 things that consumers hate most about a mortgage, and we're going to dissect those as well. So let's jump back in on the real estate side. The number one complaint was not responding promptly, easy for me to say. And so we talked a little bit about that, how you can make a better use of technology. And most agents and most companies don't, which I think is a shame. You could set up so every part of the transaction, the moment you get in the contract, the moment the home inspection's done, the appraisal, all that stuff could be triggered through text or emails or information that you could communicate with the client. So I'm telling you right now, if you're not doing it, you should be, and that's something technology could help. The number 2 thing is showing up unannounced. And this is one of the biggest complaints of consumers, and that is if you're getting ready to sell your home or you're listing your home and people just show up unannounced, both agents and or consumers. They know your house is coming on the market, or it's about ready to, or it's not quite on the market. This is this is the second most annoying thing to consumers, is really big complaint, showing up unannounced, not making any previous arrangements to show up and view the house or look at the house. That is number 2. So that really can't be, the only way technology can improve that would be if you have an app or you have a system of technology, and there's no reason this can't take place either, where the minute a person becomes a client of yours and they're listing their home with you, they have an app, or they have the technology now that they're online, where anytime someone wants to view the house, see the house, or stop by, they could get notified. And the technology exists for that. The technology exists for most of the stuff I'm going to talk about. The sad thing is our industries are terrible at adopting and implementing technology. Number 3, the most frustrating and annoying part is having an outdated website. Consumers, now this is really getting into the basics, which is sad. Consumers, they go to someone's website and they'll say, they get frustrated, and it's annoying because it's outdated. They don't have proper information on there. There's information that's misleading. This is kind of an overview of what consumers are saying. And this is the number 3 most annoying thing to consumers, having an outdated website. So what they're saying is, of course, keep your website up to date. Keep it pertinent. Keep it so that it makes sense. Keep it so that you have your listings, your most recent sales, testimonials, information about you, contact information, all that. That is number 3. Well, can technology change and improve that? Absolutely. Everybody should have an updated website. And, it's not a perfection. It's not about a perfection, but it's about keeping it up to date. All right, the number 4 thing is, and I'm not sure technology could help this, the number 4 most annoying thing that consumers dislike about real estate agents is being tardy. This apparently is high on the list. Otherwise, it wouldn't come up. So the studies and the research show that a majority of real estate agents are tardy, and this bothers clients enough that keeps that in the top 7. And so the suggestions, well, can technology help this? Let's talk about it. Well, technology can't help human behavior. Technology can Technology can enhance human behavior. What I mean by that is, if you're using text or technology, and let's say you're on the road and you're on the way to meet a client, and you're going to be late, and there's a technology that advises them, hey, sorry, I'm in traffic, or my child got sick, I had to pick up my dog from the vet, blah, blah, and you're going to be late. So notifying them as quickly as possible so they could plan was where technology could be used, for sure. All right, number 5 is missing out on new leads. So this is, again, a top concern of consumers that annoys them. According to the consumers, they're saying that this is frustrating. They feel like real estate agents in general are not using technology to the best of their knowledge and information and data gathering. They feel like they are missing out on opportunities. There's just some information right here on the data that shows clients saying, giving an example, that they were looking for a home, putting in several offers. They missed out every time, and they started getting very frustrated. And they noticed that their opinion was, after they did some research, that they felt that the real estate agent was not doing all that they could to gather the information and prepare them best for the offer. And they felt like that was because they weren't really knowledgeable, or they weren't using the best of the tools and the technology and ability to know what's on the market and to better prepare for an offer. So, could this improve could technology improve this? Yes. And the statement is right here on this information I'm reading. It's a comment. Get technology on your side so you get. So what they're saying is, make sure you're using the best systems, the best tracking systems, the best email, the best. There's a lot of programs out there. Obviously, automatically email everybody when something goes on the market. We know that. But there's other things that you could do. Offices, some people have networks or groups that they know homes are coming on the market before they even get there. Number 6 of the most annoying things about consumers with real estate agents, ignoring their requests is a big concern. So this is a communication issue. This is consumers say that there's a large percent that find themselves very frustrated because they ignore their requests. They're not good listeners. They're not listening to what they're really wanting. Instead, they might be going outside of their budget. This is one of the biggest complaints. When a customer says, this is my budget, the real estate agent has a tendency, not all of them, but have a tendency to go outside their budget and start talking them into maybe paying a little bit more when they're giving them the budget. So the overall thing here is listen to your clients. There's really not much, in my opinion, technology could do with this. This is the human element that if you're a real estate agent out there listening to this, these are the things that you should be studying and understanding to make yourself rise above the rest. Because most of you know that very few agents, the statistics show, 90%, 10% of agents do 90% of the business roughly. So what that tells you is if you're one of those, or you want to be the 10%, or you're the 10%, you should be a good listener and really listen to your customers' needs and concerns. Number 7, rounding it up, the top 7 things that annoy them the most is being a salesperson. Well, you might say, what do you mean by that? They get frustrated and annoyed. This is kind of the feedback that I'm reading the data and the statistics here. They get annoyed because they feel like they're being sold. In other words, too much of a salesperson. Pushy, unsolicited offers, feeling almost aggressive in the way they're going about them, feeling like they're just concerned about their commission, so they want the transactions to close as quick as possible. And so overall, number 7 is they feel like, in general, the real estate agent is being too much of what they would consider a salesperson, quote, unquote, too salesy instead of more relational. They're being too salesy. All right, so we're going to wrap things up here real quick, run it through. Top 7 things that annoy consumers the most: not responding promptly, showing up unannounced, having an outdated website, being tardy, missing out on new leads, ignoring their requests, and being a salesperson. All right, Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. When I come back, I'm going to talk about the top 5 things that consumers hate the most about securing a mortgage. We're going to go on the other side and figure out how technology could help that. I'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes. 1-800-516-1220 if you want to give me a call.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
Sadly, tragedies are part of our life. When faced with these tragedies, it's important that we rally together as a community to help those in need. Hi, this is Joe Kuchera, host of Real Estate Radio Live. As a way for our team here at Real Estate Radio Live to give back to our friends and neighbors affected by the tragic North Bay fires, we'll donate a percentage of every loan or every real estate transaction closed between October and December 2017 directly to the fire victims. Considering the average loan amount and real estate transaction amount, we are hoping to donate about $2,500 per transaction. So if you or anyone else you know is in the market to buy or sell, finance a purchase, or simply need a refinance, remember, we'll donate a percentage of our team's commission for each and every transaction. 100% of all the donations will go directly to the fire victims. For more information, please contact us at 408-838-9060 or go to RERadiolive.com.
Real estate broker Cal DRE 413-1002, NMLS 3233.
Hi, this is Joe Kuchera of Real Estate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We are your go-to resource for all aspects of real estate, including buying, selling, refinancing, building, and legal and tax advice, and much more. You can subscribe to Real Estate Radio Live podcast on iTunes and Stitcher to listen to an engaging discussion about anything and everything real estate. So make sure you get our app, RE Radio Live, in the iTunes store to follow the show. Hi, this is Joe Kuchera, host of Real Estate Radio Live and Bay Area Mortgage Planner. In addition to being your home financing expert, please remember you could always contact me for other trusted advisors such as realtors, financial planners, and CPAs. Please feel free to contact me at 408-838-9060. That's 408-838-9060, or email joe at RERadiolive.com, or visit my website at RERadiolive.com for more details.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome back in. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. We are in our third segment of 4 during our hour show, live show from 3 to 4. You could tune in at KDOW 1220 AM on your radio, or you can go to the website, KDOW.biz, and click on the button Listen Live. You go to my website, Listen Live. And today we're talking about is Tuesday, so every Tuesday I have an ongoing series of the future of real estate and lending. And today, first 2 segments, I talked about the 7 most annoying things to consumers about real estate agents. And the idea of when I go through this, as I did in the first 2 segments, is that the way you improve services and technology, whether it's a product or service-based business, is you figure out where the complaints are coming from, what is the most frustrating part of that experience for clients, and then you figure out how you could adapt and deploy technology to improve that for the consumers. So I went through the top 7 with real estate agents. Now I'm going to dive into the top 5 things that consumers hate most about applying and getting a mortgage. And the idea is each step of the way is we're going to look at each one of these and find out how could we deploy, adapt, and use technology to improve that. If you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220. If you want to get your calls on the air during the live portion, if you want to text or contact me, 408-838-9060. Okay, so the top 5 things consumers hate most about applying or securing a mortgage. Let me go through those, and we'll each one address them. Okay, number 1, overall, is a mountain of paperwork. Surprise, surprise, right? I mean, most people would say, I don't think most people would argue about this. All the studies done, I don't care if you've done it 5 years ago, this year, next year, overall, it's going to be in the top 5. A mountain of paperwork, I get it, I understand. This is the business I'm in. I do residential financing for mortgages, and I know this is a frustrating thing for people when you ask for that list. Now, let me break this down real quickly for you, not to really go into major detail, but there is more and more paperwork depending on the type of loan you have. So I'll make it as simple as I can for you. If you are doing jumbo financing, and in most areas, that means the loan's over $636,000 in our area. That jumbo financing is different in different areas. But if you are considered jumbo financing, be prepared. I'm just being honest with you. You are going to have to submit more paperwork because they're going to require at least the last 2 years' tax returns, any kind of corporate returns, any kind of partnership returns, maybe depending on what you have. And it's just going to be more scrutinized. It just is. I wish it wasn't. It'll probably get better in the future. But so the number 1 complaint for people is a mountain of paperwork. So you might say, well, Joe, how do I avoid paperwork and how does technology help this? So if you're doing a conforming loan, so again, in our area, I'll speak to our area. Our area is anything less than $636,000 and less is conforming. If you are doing a conforming loan, you should not, depends, overall, I'm just saying 90-95% of the time, they should not require your tax returns. They really shouldn't. In some cases, depending on how the desktop underwriting, if they run it through an electronic approval process, like we do and most lenders do, a lot of times they'll just require even 1 year's W-2 and even 1 pay stub. It really depends. So make sure when you're working, the lender you're working with, first of all, that they're up on technology and they are direct lenders. Here's the problem when you're not a direct lender. You have 3 or 4 layers of investors you got to go through. So this is a bigger conversation for another day, but this is why it's important to know who you're working with. Work with a direct lender. If you work with a broker, here's what happens. The broker collects all your stuff, and then the broker pans it out to who knows how many investors that might be looking at your loan. So it's subject to more and more paperwork, more reviews, more looks, more underwrites. So that's one way to avoid it. Okay, so how do we solve this, or can technology solve this problem? A mountain of paperwork is number 1 concern of people of mortgages. Yes. So one of the one of the ways you solve this is internally the lenders have to get better, and the investors, Fannie Freddie, has to get better about what their requests are, their underwriting guidelines. So they already have, and I've already said that this technology can improve this if they start using technology better to read and scan documents. Then that could certainly improve that. All right. Here's the other piece of it. Technology is already helping to facilitate that for lenders that have the technology to do it. Let me give you an example. New American Funding, who I work with as a lender, as a direct lender. When we request documents, we have a secured uploaded link that consumers could automatically drop and drag, pull and drag, drop their documents right into that link and automatically submit them to us. And those come to us and get dropped into the file, and they're already organized when they go in. So we know the pay stubs, the bank statements, the W-2s, tax returns. So can you use technology to improve this? Yes, you could use technology to better facilitate the paperwork. It's bad enough that a consumer has to gather all this paperwork. What's more frustrating is when you say, how do I get it to you? And then how do I get it to you securely? So that is one of the number one complaints for people, a mountain of paperwork. Technology can be used and deployed to improve this, and I just explained some ways they could do it. The shame of this is most lenders don't use this technology that exists today. It's ridiculous. They should be using it. They should be using a technology where you could upload all this stuff to a link. You don't have to scan. You don't have to PDF. You don't have to, make copies. You don't have to FedEx. You can do all that stuff if you want. The idea is to make it more simplified and convenient for the consumer. So that could definitely be improved with technology. The number two thing is explaining those negative marks on your credit report. This is frustrating. It really is. I could tell you technology can improve this. So what people, if you know what I'm talking about, you pull your credit report and there's a little ridiculous things on there that, aliases, and is this you? Is that you? Did you live at this old address? And next thing you know, you're doing a loan and they're asking you for, 5 different explanations of why this different name's there or different addresses there, or did you have this job, and did you start a company 5 years ago and close it down? That's very frustrating. So how could technology help and improve that? All those little things on your credit report. In some ways, it is already starting. And what I mean by that is there's pressure on the 3 agencies, the 3 reporting bureaus, to do a better job at what they report and how they report. And that's another topic for another radio show, but I'm telling you, I'm sorry, I'm in this business, but the credit reporting business is a scam. And I don't care if that people get upset for me to saying that. I know we need it. I know we have to have it. I know we all use it for our businesses and how we rate and how we get loans and all that. It's a scam. It's a legalized scam. It's frustrating the way they go about their business. The way they have stuff shows up on your credit report, and it'll show up in seconds, but it'll take you months to get it off. Then you got to pay to have it done. It's ridiculous. It's frustrating. I feel sorry for people with this whole credit reporting bureau. I really do. There's a lot of legislation in place to try to improve that, and I hope it does over the years. Boy, but what a racket that is. So can technology improve there? Yes, they could improve. They could use technology to better sift through that information, to have more accurate information. And I know a lot of that's taking place right now. All right, number 3, one of the top 5 things that are most frustrating and people hate about mortgages. And I know this won't surprise most of you people. Mortgage rates are higher than advertised. I laugh. It's not funny, but I talk about this all the time. And I'll continue to educate people on this. I know most of you out there listening, you've been through this before. You look at an interest rate, you go to bank rate, you go to cash call, you go to all these places that are misleading by design. I'm not saying it's illegal, but they're misleading by design. They just are. It's the way they do business. It's the only way you get phones to ring, emails to go, text. That's what you do. That's how you do it. So this is one of the biggest complaints for people. Mortgage rates are higher than advertised. I understand. It happens a lot. Just be careful. So I won't get so much into how you could avoid that, because you're not going to be able to avoid it unless you're working with someone you trust and you really get a authentic explanation of the rates and fees associated with that transaction. A loan estimate is what you get. You're entitled to a loan estimate. It's referred to as an LE. Before you even get in the business with somebody, you should get one of those. Can technology change that? Well, it can. It can. Here's the problem with technology improving what you see on the internet, and rates are higher than they're advertised. Here's the problem. It's operated still by consumers. So technology, we've done a better job at using technology to publish and illustrate interest rates and fees and costs associated with loans. Technology has improved that. The downside to that is you can manipulate that information so that it's misleading to the consumer, and then they get frustrated because they feel like it's a bait and switch. And I get it. It happens all the time. People will call me and say, Joe, they're advertising this rate. I'll say, be careful. And sure enough, 9 out of 10 times they'll call me back and go, you were right. I got the paperwork started. I got everything going, and all of a sudden the rate changed. And it happens a lot. And it's sad, but it does happen. So how does technology change that? They could improve technology. They could improve a lot of that with intelligent learning. With a lot of artificial intelligence, that could be changed and improved. But if you have people manipulating that, that's still going to be a problem. All right, I'm going to take another break. The last break, I'm going to come back and finish up the top 5 things that people hate most about applying for a mortgage. If you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220. Or if you've experienced any of this, give me a call, 1-800-516-1220. I'll be back with you in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
The world is changing, and so is real estate. It's changing in ways that give consumers more control with more affordable options. So what are your options? Hi, this is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. I've been on the air educating and informing consumers for over 7 years now. I'm excited to announce that there is now a more efficient and cost-effective way to buy and sell real estate. Our team at Real Estate Radio Live is launching a new program designed to help buyers or sellers like you in real estate, lending, and title. That's right, we'll coordinate the entire transaction for you. So you benefit by working with the same team, saving time and saving money. We'll guarantee you'll not only be working with the most qualified, hand-picked experts in real estate, lending, and title, but you will also save a significant amount of money in all 3 services as well. Act now and benefit from changing the world of real estate. Call 408-838-9060. Go to RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome back in. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. As we kind of wrap up the show, just a few minutes left. The topic today is always ongoing unless something changes. Technology Tuesday, the future of real estate and lending. We're going to constantly update those every Tuesday. So today, in regards to that, first 2 segments, I talked about the 7 most annoying things consumers are annoyed by real estate agents, and now I'm finishing up by talking about the top 5 things that people hate most about a mortgage. And the idea when we look at these is to look at them to better understand how we improve the business. How do we use technology to implement it, to use it, to change behaviors, to change the way we look at our business, our processes, our systems, to deliver a better service or a product to the consumer. Bottom line, that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're the education process for. So let's dive back in and quickly finish up. I went through the top 2 things that are most frustrating. I did 3 on the mortgage side. 1 was the mountain of paperwork. 2 was explaining the negative marks in your credit report. 3 was mortgage rates that are higher than advertised. So number 4 this is interesting. So number 4 is agent kickbacks. What do you mean by agent kickbacks? So here's what happens, and I'm glad this one came up because I've talked about this before. A lot of people don't know this, and you'll continue to be educated if you follow this show for sure. So the agent kickbacks mean one of the most frustrating things for people is they don't know when their real estate agent is referring, or if they're referring them a lender, or if someone else is referring, they're afraid. The concern, the problem is they feel as if there's kickbacks and they're not really understanding what the relationship's about and who does what. And let me just real quickly, before I jump on the technology side, let me tell you how this happens. Most major real estate firms have in-house lenders. In-house lenders, okay? And the reason they have in-house lenders, and again, what you're going to get with me is the truth and unfiltered information. The reason they have in-house lenders is to improve their margin, to make more money. They'll tell you that they're there for better service, and you could stage it that way. You could do the window dressing that way. But the bottom line is it's a business decision. There's nothing wrong with it. It's legal. There's a joint venture between real estate companies and in-house lenders. So when you walk into a real estate company or you say they're an affiliate, let me tell you how this works. They have joint ventures. It's a business arrangement where when a real estate agent company or anyone else refers you to that affiliation inside their office or outside, they're making money on that. They're making additional money, an override, whatever you want to, whatever, on you by doing business with them. Now, it's not illegal. Here's where the problem lies. Here's the part that I get frustrated with this. They increased their rates for the most part, the lenders, the inside lenders, so they have enough margin to make money themselves but also pay their partner, the real estate company. So in most cases, you have to be very careful with these relationships because in many cases, you're paying a higher interest rate or higher fees because of that relationship. That's wrong, in my opinion. It's not illegal. It's not. You could set up what kind of ever business arrangements you want, but understand that this is a concern by consumers, and this is one of the kickback issues people are talking about, and the Consumer Protection Agency is coming down on this type of stuff. Is the idea is that why should someone else make an additional margin when the consumer is forced to pay a higher price? Now you might say, well, they're not forced, but they kind of are if they're steered. So it's a tough situation. If you're being steered towards a situation or a partnership where you're paying more money and someone's steering you because it's a financial benefit to them, that's illegal as far as I'm concerned. They get around it by saying it's a joint venture, so be careful of that stuff. If you have questions about this, check in and give me a call. Again, people do it all the time. I'm not saying it's wrong, but do you want to pay higher rates and fees just because someone's referring them over to you? You have to be careful about that. So how can technology change this? How can technology change this? Well, this is something that technology, in my opinion, can't change. This is a business practice. This is something you should be more educated on. So if you're concerned about kickbacks, be really careful. Be very, very careful. Just know that any real estate company that has a relationship with a lender or a title company, the real estate company is making additional money when they send you there. That's what you need to know. And that's what you need to figure out. And that's how to address the kickback concern. Okay, last before we finish up, the last one is the title insurance. Consumers are very, very frustrated and irritated with title insurance. And the irritation comes from, why am I paying so much title insurance? How come it's not negotiable? How come no one really tells me about it? Why is it all these fees in there that I don't understand? And it's just an overall frustration. So that's going to change, ladies and gentlemen, as well. It's going to take some while because an insurance company, insurance companies are regulated, and it's a tough nut to crack. But that will be something that the walls will be coming down soon, too. You will have more transparency on title and escrow here in the next coming years. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is coming. So the frustration, how do you fix the title thing with technology? Well, the way technology can improve the title insurance and the concerns and the frustration there is to better communicate in a transaction. If you're doing a transaction and you get better communication and clear, transparent documentation of why you're getting charged these fees, that's a better use of technology. And that's what should be happening. Consumers should be getting a really clear idea of how this works. All right, unfortunately, we're running out of time. It's been a great show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Once again, if you want more information, you could always go to reradiolive.com. If you want to contact me off hours, you could always either text or call, area code 408 838-9060. This is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Take care and have a great afternoon.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Tune in, log in, download our podcast. Discover more at RERadiolive.com. RERadiolive.com.